So I recorded part one of this on my phone, and let me go ahead and get that bad boy on. So, the thing is that at the end of the day, guys, your personality may just not be the other person's cup of tea, and it may not jive with them. Now, ultimately, and this is probably the biggest thing that I want to discuss in this part two of You're Always Going to Have Haters video is at the end of the day, guys, especially when we're talking about adults, okay, for myself, there are very few human beings on this earth that I have a legitimate dislike for. Certainly not enough, like very, very little, if any, that are to the point where I feel comfortable voicing my dislike of them to other people. Okay. And now we can get into the differences between men and women and how this definitely does tend to be a more female thing to do or a more feminine minded thing to do. But for the sake of the video, I want to keep this just focused more broadly speaking. I have very few people, if any at all, that I dislike so much to where I feel that I need to voice it to somebody else. And I think that that is an example of a healthy person. And this is probably the biggest point that I want to make in this entire video is somebody else's dislike of you, especially if you have never like wronged them or done a personal affront against them or some wicked thing towards them, especially if you've never done any of those things and they dislike you, that says more about them and their character and who they are on the inside than about you. And really, I have found that the people who are the most vocal about their dislike, and I saw this all the time in management, especially with there was one coworker of mine who all she did was talk shit about other people, like it was nonstop. And conversely, she would turn back around and when it suited her to be the caring, compassionate person and be friendly towards them, she would on one hand say the worst shit about you behind your back, but to and I know this because I saw her do it to other people, and then she would turn right around and talk to that person like they were the best buddies in the world and act like a concerned friend and that she cared so much. And it was all bullshit. So it says far more about them than it does anybody else. And the thing is that and this again, I can only speak for myself here. In my experience, the people who are the loudest about their dislike for people are usually people who are visibly broken, that are just totally damaged human beings and are so like, and I say this with all humility, are people who are very sad internally. And that really is the fueling factor to them disliking so many people because they dislike themselves. They hate themselves. So that's like the main point that I want to make here is overall, obviously, I know it's easier said than done to say don't worry about it and just move forward and not let it phase you. I think normal human nature is to want to have people like you and like you for who you are, especially. But that's the key point, like you for who you are. If you are getting to a point where you're constantly changing and shaping who you are, then you're not concerned with people liking you for who you are. And at that point, you're starting to get into an unhealthy pattern, because that's also kind of behavior of somebody who doesn't like themselves, somebody who is willing to change who they are so readily just to be liked. But again, the larger point is that you need to take it for what it is and try to not have it offend you and bother you to a crippling degree, and just pray for that person, because they are damaged. They're somebody who is not ambitious, who um, does not believe in themselves, who does not have confidence in themselves, which is why they resent people who do. This has been something that has been the case since the dawn of time. So um, that's really all you can do is hope that they uh, get to a healthy point and start loving themselves. Um, because when you really think about it, that you're an adult who talks about how they dislike other people, it's like, man, that's embarrassing. Honestly, it really is. It's very embarrassing. Uh, to be a full grown adult and to have high school like, or middle school like, more like middle school dislike or like for people. It's absurd. So keep on keeping on, Kings. That's the main message here: is keep moving forward, keep improving, keep being ambitious. You need to just take it for what it is. You're always going to have detractors. You're always going to have people trying to bring you down and tear you down and bring you to their level. That is the main thing here, is they want to bring you back down because you're trying to separate yourself. You're trying to move beyond them. And they want to bring you back down as because that's what Satan would do. Now, I'm not saying they're Satan, but evil and wickedness has Satan within it. And Satan always tries to bring you back towards him and away from God. And you should be continuing to move towards God. And whether it's spiritual, whether it's self-improvement, whether it's with your career, whether it's with your physical transformation, people are going to try and tear you down because they are mad at themselves for not having the courage to do it themselves. You know, I've had people in my YouTube videos for working out where, to me it's like, to me it's like, I want to share this. I want to share uh the journey that I'm on, that I'm trying to improve. And even still on YouTube, I'll have people who that have negative comments on the working out, and I always comment back to them like, it's absurd that you see somebody who's trying to improve their life and all you have to say is something negative. But again, it shows what they are on the inside. They are the ones who are ill and angry at themselves for not having the courage to take that step forward. They want to keep you right with them. It's like an abusive relationship or a codependent relationship where somebody, and because the behaviors and the motivations are the same, they cross pollinate, where they are trying to keep you at all costs right where they are at. And you know what I say to that? Fuck that. I'll still hope that you can get out of this, and I won't wish you ill will, but for me, nah, I am not letting you do this to me. Nah, think again, brah. Nah, nah. So, I hope you guys got something good out of this. Like I said, keep on moving forward. I hope you guys consider smashing that subscribe button, at the very least. Like, comment, share. You Kings know the drill. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. Facts are feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you, Kings. See you guys next time. Peace. Oh, and guess what? Christ is King.